Hello everyone, Alyan here with special guest Miss Debbie. Miss Debbie is a business coach specializing in helping entrepreneurs, business owners achieve greater profitability while reducing their workload. With her past experience and knowledge, she likes a guiding light for business seeking growth and efficiency outside the world of business. Miss Debbie is a passionate artist and advocate for sustainability and a lover of book. She brings creativity and a holistic perspective to her coaching approach. We are trying to have Miss Debbie on my show to share her insight and expertise. Get ready for entailing conversation or business success. Hello, Miss Debbie. How are you?
I am doing great. Thank you so much for having me on today. I'm really looking forward to
I
this.
thank you very much. I am very thankful to you to coming in my show. Thank you so much for coming.
My pleasure,
Okay,
for sure.
thank you. So before moving on the question, can you please introduce yourself?
Well, I am, as you said, a business coach. I focus on making businesses profitable and helping business owners to work less hours. That began as a child because I grew up in an entrepreneurial home. My dad had his own automotive repair shop and gas station. And we when he was first starting out, he spent hours and hours, like 6 a.m. till midnight. He was at his job all the time. And I remember this one time when we were waiting for him to come home to go skate sledding. And I lived in Portland, Oregon. We didn't very often get snow. And we lived a long ways from the mountain, like an hour, hour and a half from the mountain. And this one Saturday, he promised he would go in, open the shop at 6 a.m., and then come home and pick us up at 9. And we would go sledding for the whole day. And we were so excited. When he went to work, we were up and we were getting all ready. And it was almost 9 o'clock. And so I went and I sat on the stairs and I was looking out this window. We had this hexagon shaped window that looked out onto the driveway. And I looked and we were watching for dad and he didn't come. 9 o'clock passed, 10 o'clock passed, 11 o'clock passed, and still no dad. At noon, my sisters and I were like, is this going to be another day when we don't get to go because dad's working? About 2 o'clock, my mom called my dad and asked him, are you coming? Are we going to go, even if we go up there for an hour? And he goes, I'm sorry, I got too much work. And I just decided right then, when I owned my own business, I was not going to break promises to my kids. And I was going to be the one. That's the reason I had my business, was so that I could spend more time with my family and have that time freedom. As my dad got better at being an entrepreneur, and I was in high school, then I got to work with him, and he taught me how, the lessons that he learned on how to manage his time, so that, because when I got in high school, then he was able to be at all the things that were important. And so I took those things in as I was raising my 6 kids and running my own businesses. But I see that a lot of entrepreneurs don't know that. And so they're spending lots of long hours and time away from their families, missing the important things in their lives, whether it's a family being together or maybe it's they want to travel, but they're giving it all up so that they can put these long hours in. And especially as COVID has changed our world, it is, I've seen that as entrepreneurs, that more people are wanting to be entrepreneurs, but then they give up on it because they spend too many hours doing it and not making it profitable. So that's how I became more focused on profit. and spending less time on it is because I know how to do it. I've practiced it over the last 40 years, and I learned at the hands of my dad as after, I got to see the lessons of what it was like before and then what it was like after.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for this introduction. Okay, so my first question in your screen: how do you approach working with your client to achieve these goals?
Well, one of the things that we have to do is we have to look at what are your goals, and then we analyze what you're doing in your business. We look at what you're spending your money on, what you're spending your time on, what your mindset is, because mindset plays a big part of the game. As we're working, it determines kind of the direction that you're going. And are your goals really your goals? So that's where we start.
All right. So, could you share a success story or case study of a business owner you have helped significantly improve their profitability and work-life balance?
Okay, so I'm going to use a false name, so that nobody's privacy is invaded here. But Jessica was a mom that was spending lots and lots of hours working on a jewelry business. And she was really frustrated because she had negative outflow every month. She started her business, and the here she was putting in all these hours, you know, in addition to working a full-time job. She was trying to start this business, and it was not profitable. In fact, she was letting about $1,300 a month go out the door that she wasn't bringing in. And so we went in and we looked at what she was doing. And in the first 6 weeks, we were able to take that negative $1,300 and turn it into a positive $350 by changing how she was advertising and by actually marketing in a different way than she had been. So she increased her sales, and she has gone on to make even greater sales.
Wonderful. So, what are some common challenges that business owners face in maximizing profit and minimizing their workload?
One of the biggest things I see is that they started their business and didn't have a plan. And it's really important to have a business plan so that you know the direction you're going. If you do your plan, you are going to know what your competition is doing, um, what the right pricing is, how they're marketing, and you're going to know how you can stand out above the whole crowd. And that's the biggest thing in business. You want to solve a big problem, and you want to make yourself stand out above everybody else.
Okay, so what strategies do you employ to help your client identity and overcome these challenges?
Um, what we do is we analyze everything. I look at how much time they're spending doing what activities, what is their profit um, producing activities, what are they spending their money on, how can they streamline, what systems can they put in place to be able to make it more time effective. And those are the biggest strategies that we look at. We oftentimes, as business owners, we think we have to do it all on our own, and we are out there by ourselves. And really, that is the least profitable way to run a business, because you have your own genius and you're good at something. Um, and if you focus on what you're really good at and let other people step in, whether you're doing a strategic partnership or you're hiring somebody to do that work, you're going to increase your profitability and reduce your time involved significantly.
All right. So, in your opinion, what are the key factors that contribute to a business profitability?
I think the keys to profitability are streamlining your operation, always being on top of what your numbers are. A lot of business owners don't know what their numbers are, and they're not even sure how many real hours that they're putting into their business. So we start tracking the numbers in your bank account, the numbers on your ledger sheets, the numbers of your time clock, and then the numbers that you want to achieve in your goal. That's your goal. And when you know your numbers, it's amazing how everything kind of falls in place.
Wonderful. So, how do you assess the unique needs and characteristics of each client when creating a coaching plan?
You know, a lot of people, a lot of coaches, and even business owners think of their business as one entity, their home as another entity, and their family as a different entity. And what I have found in my own experience in raising my own 6 children and running 2 businesses at the same time is that you can't think of them as separate entities. You have to think of them as one entity. And then it works like a river. When you need to twist and turn, everything flows together and everybody feels satisfied. Your business is getting the attention it needs when it needs it. Your family and your home are getting the needs taken care of when they need it. But they all flow together, not as um, separate entities that are fighting for your time and your experience and your attention.
Amazing. So, what role does time management play in your coaching approach to help clients for work few hours?
One of the big tools I use is time blocking. I think time management is actually a myth because um, time goes on whether you use it or not. And so, what I try and help my clients do is focus on, say, you're going to do emails. Okay, this is the amount of time that you're going to use for emails. And, um, you know, maybe it's 30 minutes, maybe it's an hour, but that's all you do. Because the fact is that when you do a task over and over, you get faster and more efficient at it. And like you're doing those emails, it's the responses come easier and you spend less time on it. If you're doing your bookkeeping or you're doing maybe you're in manufacturing and you're actually doing part of the manufacturing, the more consistently you can spend time doing the exact same task, the faster you will get. I had an example that I had a mask manufacturing business during COVID. And as I had 5 or 6 seamstresses working for me, I noticed that, they would take their bundles and they would sew it. But I had this one seamstress that she could do 20 masks in an hour, which is so much faster. And it's because she would just sit down and do it. The other ones were doing it here and there when they got around to it. And she made tons of money because she could be consistent in her results and she was fast.
Amazing. So, can you discuss some of the most effective techniques or tools you use to improve time management for business owners?
What I try and have each of my clients do is to take a calendar, a 24-hour calendar that goes like from midnight. It starts at midnight and then it goes till um, basically midnight. And it's broken down into half-hour blocks. And I have them, put in their time for sleep. If you don't put enough time in for sleep, you are not going to accomplish near as much as you will if you have the proper amount of sleep. So we put in some of the more important things. We put in the sleep, we put in time for family, and these become hard set times at because you become more effective when you um, align your time with your boundaries there. And then we have specific things that we put in for their job, their work. What this is your time during the week that you're going to work on your bookkeeping. This is your time that you're going to um, work on emails. And I found that addressing emails just a little bit of time every single day is more effective than not doing anything with it for the entire week and then having to sit down for a couple hours. And we just look at the needs of the company and what you're doing, and we put those times in, and it's a flexible schedule until we work out all the kinks and you're getting everything that you need to do done, and taking care of yourself and your family. But doing that time blocking that says, okay, at this time, no matter what, I'm going to stop what I'm doing and I'm going to do this new thing. Just get you in a routine. It's a system. And I find that that's very effective in helping people do time management.
Wonderful. Okay, so how do you help clients strike a balance between increasing profitability and maintaining a healthy work-life balance?
That really goes back to what are their goals. And one of the things that we do when we first start is that 85% of businesses start without a business plan. And so if my clients don't have a business plan, we're going to set up a business plan so we know exactly what they want to do, what their competition is, what the pricing is, what the marketing strategies are, and what we're going to know exactly what they want to accomplish in life. And then we look at, how do we make things more streamlined so that they can make more profit? And when they're streamlined, you're going to automatically spend less time doing it. We're going to put in systems and have strategies to make it so that we meet the needs of the person. And my goal is to make it that every business owner spends less than 40 hours a week working their business, because there's so much more to life than working 40 hours a week. And if that's all you wanted was to work 40 hours a week, you could go get a job and work for somebody else and not have the benefits of entrepreneurialism or the stress and the challenges that come with entrepreneurialism.
Wonderful. So, what type of business have you worked with in the past, and do you specialize in any particular industries?
Okay, I've worked in a lot of different industries. I've worked with construction. I've worked with educators. Um, I've been actually involved in 18 different industries, and I mean, I've done insurance. The I've worked with artisans. It really doesn't matter what the business is because the skills I learned are transferable between the industries. So I 18 different industries is a lot. I've worked in real estate. Um, the I've done so many different ones. I can't even tell you. Farmers, the so agriculture, um, and each is exciting, has its own um, little idiosyncrasies, but the skills are the same throughout, from one industry to the next, so that it's really transferable. And I don't specialize in per se one specialty, other than I would say that the majority of my clients are not online. I do have some that are doing online marketing, and but there are so many businesses that can't um, focus solely online to get their clients. They need to do other marketing strategies, and so a large percentage of my clients are brick and mortar businesses that are maybe run out of their homes, or they may actually have a storefront or an office space somewhere.
All right, amazing. So, are there any specific tool or resources you recommended to business owner looking to enhance their profitability and work-life balance?
Um, I am a great promoter of different, um, like uh, Google Calendar is one tool that we use a lot. I use because I have an iPhone. I use Things, but there's other different programs out there that can help you keep track of tasks that you need to do. So, because if you put and rely on your mind to do remember everything, you clogged it up and you can't think. So, put it down in an app. You could put it down in notes. You could put it down in reminders. Most phones have a reminder app. Use something like that. But I put a lot of things into my Google Calendar because, especially like, I think affirmations are really important. Like, I am the business owner. Uh, as a business owner, I attract my ideal client every day. That's an affirmation you might want to have. You can put it into your calendar and set it up so reminders, it pops up all the time. It'll also give you an alarm when you need to change activities. Um, and you can put your whole 24-hour schedule into your Google Calendar as not busy, so nobody else knows what you're supposed to be doing. But you can set it up to send you reminders, which is really nice and helpful. It'll send you a 5-minute reminder or right when you need to change. It doesn't matter. Those are the two tools that I use a great deal in helping to put in systems and um, to to make the workflow go more quickly and streamlined.
All right. Thank you so much, Miss, for giving me your precious and valuable time for the interview. I hope everybody learned something new with your answer. Thank you so much again for coming in my show and giving me your valuable and precious time. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I appreciate it. You have a wonderful, I guess it's evening for you where it's day for me.